And we are back live. This is the main event, UFC in Brazil, coronavirus edition, because there are no other sports going on at all except for UFC. That's why UFC has taken the main ESPN slot that would normally be, as we all know, which would normally be for NCAA basketball games and tournaments, right? That's what would be taking place right now. But what we got UFC. Thanks to Dana White, and smart opportunity for him to take advantage of, because at the end of the day, that's what you want, right? You want to be able to have um you want to be able to have events that are going to be seen. And by having the UFC move on to main ESPN, that's just more visibility. So great call by Dana White. Great opportunity to seize, to go to Brazil and basically have a card of majority Brazilians compete. And so far, it's been a good card. You know, these fights have, a lot of them went the distance. We just had our first knockout. Damian Maya got knocked out. I mean, technically, he didn't get knocked the fuck out. Like, he wasn't asleep, but he got hit and he fucking dropped right down, and then he got jumped on, and he was basically just, he was out of it, in terms of, he wasn't asleep, but he was out of it, right? He wasn't himself. He was wobbled, and it was capitalized on by a bunch of hammer fists, and it worked out. It really did. You know, I personally think that we're going to see a good fight here. You know, I think we're going to see a good one. I think we see Charles Oliveira get the win. That's what I would expect. That's what I would expect from this fight, right? So if you're out there, if you're watching these fights, welcome to Fight Conversations. We're doing it live over here. That's the way it's going down. So I suggest, if you're in the mix, throw on ESPN right now. It's the main event. We're going to see Kevin Lee against Charles Oliveira. So far, we just saw our first knockout of the night, so the energy is in the building now. We got some knockout energy, so maybe we'll see another knockout. Who wants to see a knockout? I know I want to see a knockout, man. I love seeing knockouts. Shout out to Mike Bomparola. You know what I'm saying? Got the fucking wedding flask over here, live with the Hennessy. You know how we're going to do it. A little for the good luck one time. A little Hennessy over here. Get it cracking. Let's get it going, guys. Who you got winning this fight? Who's going to win this one? I think Oliveira wins by submission. That's what I think. I think Oliveira is hot right now. Kevin Lee got that head kick win. He's hot coming off of that right now, but Oliveira is a tricky character, and he's used to winning too. So this is a close one. They don't have it too much of a separation on this one in terms of the betting line. I recommend tuning in to ESPN at the same time. If you don't have ESPN, I'm going to call the fight right here. This is a fight companion. ESPN is showing the fights not only on ESPN Plus, but on regular ESPN because of the coronavirus, because there are no March Madness 2020 games. Otherwise, I would be on the strip right now watching NCAA games. We'd be watching tournaments. We'd be trying to see what happens tomorrow, Selection Sunday. I mean, Selection Sunday is what? Tomorrow. But it is what it is. This is how it goes. It's just going to make us appreciate it more next year. It's only going to be that much more crazy for March Madness next year. So let's get it going, man. We're live here. Fight Conversations, Fight Talk at 24/7, right? Charles Oliveira looks ready. He's got what? The gray hair look going right now. He's got definitely the reach advantage. Let's see what the reach advantage actually is. You could just tell right off the bat he got the reach advantage. He's like at least a half a head taller than Kevin Lee. Oh, nice. I like this referee right here. Mike Beltran. Yeah, he's the guy with the crazy long hair, like the fucking pirate long beard, all rubber banded up like Captain Lou Albano from the fucking 80s, right? Yeah, let's do it. All right, Fight Conversations, Fight Companion. We're doing it live, fights right now. This fight is live on ESPN. Throw on ESPN. You could probably watch it on ESPN Plus, streamed right on your phone if you have ESPN Plus. Let's do it, man. Let's watch it. Otherwise, I'm going to call the fight right here, and I'll let you know how it goes. Charles Oliveira against Kevin Lee. This is the main event. No belt on the line, but pride on the line. Don't forget, Oliveira's Brazilian. He's in his town. Kevin Lee, he's the American. He's coming in. He's coming off a big head kick knockout. So what's going to happen right here? Who you guys got winning? Make a claim. I think I'm going with Oliveira in this one. We've been going for the dogs in this card. That was one of our strategies. Most of the dogs have come through. A couple of favorites came through. But that's the whole idea of going for the dogs, right? The idea is it's a numbers thing. It's a mathematics thing. You can hit less than 50% of your bets and still make money because you're betting plus numbers. That's how that goes. As opposed to the other way, you could lose, right? If you bet all favorites, you could win more than 50% of your bets and still lose. Think about that. All right, so here we go. The fight's about to start. Kevin Lee, Charles Oliveira, UFC, Brazil, coronavirus special edition, live on UFC ESPN for the first time that ESPN has had a UFC event. We might see this more often now. If they get sick ratings off of this, I don't see why they wouldn't. There's no competition. Oliveira out the back, coming right up on Lee. Watch out, because Kevin Lee is a counterpuncher, and he catches Oliveira in the air and sends him back. These guys are both winners. They are both used to winning. Kevin Lee throws a punch. Oliveira throws a kick. You got to make sure that you're looking for both. Oh, big kick to the face. Wow. Oliveira is not fucking around. Kevin Lee looks like he felt that on his nose. They clash up. They break apart. Both land lefts to the face. Both jabbing with their lefts. Both in the middle. Both jabbing. I think Oliveira's getting ready to kick, and he throws a looping left forward. He comes back around. Leg kick. Kevin Lee lands a body punch. This is an exciting fight. I definitely recommend tuning in to ESPN for this one. Did you see how Oliveira threw his punch and then his kick and kept his hand up? Johnny Walker could learn from that. You have to keep that guard up. Body punch landed by Kevin Lee. Jab to the face by Kevin Lee. Another jab for Kevin Lee. And Oliveira shoots in, gets the takedown, but Kevin Lee ends up somehow on top, but Oliveira scrambles out of it. They're both scrambling. He's trying to grab a leg. Oliveira is trying to grab a leg. He maybe has an ankle. He's looking for that ankle, but he doesn't have the ankle, but he's trying to get the ankle. They're both scrambling. They're both in a position like spaghetti legs. All their legs are all, it looks like Kevin Lee is back up to his feet. But at the same time, Oliveira has his legs around his body. He's landing shots to Kevin Lee now. Elbows to Kevin Lee's face. Kevin Lee gets out of it. They're both scrambling. Kevin Lee's on top. Kevin Lee has his legs intertwined with Oliveira, but Oliveira is still in a jiu-jitsu position of defense where he's now able to move to his side. Kevin Lee moves over the top, but somehow Oliveira is able to take his back. If he can get his arm underneath Kevin Lee's chin, he might be able to get a submission here. I don't know if it's legal to elbow to the spine, but if I was him, I would elbow him to the spine right there. That might not be legal. I don't know. But there was an elbow to the spine available for Oliveira. I don't know if that's legal. He looked like he wanted to do it and he held back. That might not be legal. So we'll have to take a look at that because that's the way I thought. I was like, elbow him to the spine. But it is what it is. Oliveira is in trouble. He rolls out of trouble. He's got the leg. He's trying to roll him into some trouble with that leg. A heel hook. He looks like he's got it. Does he have it enough? I don't know if he's got it enough. Their legs are intertwined and they're hitting each other with shots at the same time. Oliveira is on his back, but it's in a jiu-jitsu guard on his back while having his legs intertwined. I'm not exactly sure who is having the worst of the pressure on the legs, but from this position, it looks like Kevin Lee's leg is his right leg is twisted in a very uncomfortable position. But he gets out of it, and now he's in more of just the regular in Charles Oliveira's guard. He's in his guard. Oliveira is still using those legs to try to create some type of leverage over the top, trying to get the head. Every time he goes up to try to get the head just slips right out because Kevin Lee is a slippery character. They're rolling around. They're rolling around different ways. Oliveira, it goes from his back to Kevin Lee to switching around to belly. He's trying to get side control. Kevin Lee's kicking out of it. Both of these dudes are engaged in some heavy jiu-jitsu right here. Kevin Lee just took a big kick to the face. Wow, from the bottom, like a heel kick upwards. Looked like he ate it. Looked like he swallowed a tooth moving backwards. That was crazy. But that might have just been the optics of it for a second there in the camera. Who knows? But he gets up. Oliveira's on the ground. Oliveira's twisting. Oliveira's trying to get himself. He's not in danger, but Kevin Lee's trying to work himself into a position to be in danger, to land some shots. Oh, and he lands some shots on Oliveira, but Oliveira gets out of it right away. Throws the legs back up, gets back into guard. He has a forearm pressed on his face. He's eating some elbows, but he's trying to move his head in a way that'll create the impact of the elbows to not have as much impact. And that's the round. I don't think any of those elbows did any real damage. I think Oliveira escaped a very bad situation there. He looked like he put in some work earlier. They both looked like they landed some shots. Not exactly sure who got the takedowns. That's an up for grabs round. I'm sure that there's going to be judges that have that for one or the other. So in terms of that round, I would say that was very close. And who would I give it to? I'm biased, right? I'm biased because I like Oliveira. So I would want to give it to Oliveira for the work that he was able to do. But was that work effective? I thought he did land some shots. That kick from the bottom, that was maybe the best shot of the round, if that was what it looked like. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to see some replays. So I saw more from Oliveira early, and then I saw a lot from Kevin Lee late. So let's see what we see in round 2 here. All right, Oliveira presses forward. Don't forget, this is a 5-round fight. Oliveira with the spinning back fist misses. Kevin Lee in defensive stance, up against the fence. He clinches and then punches. Oliveira with the kick. Oh, nice body kick by Oliveira. Clean, right in the body. Pushes Lee up against the fence, but he's back, and they're back at it. A nice left by Kevin Lee. Oh, he's landing in the boxing exchange. Oliveira got to make sure that he's more thinking about his kicks than his boxing. But I don't know. It doesn't look like it hurt him too much. He jumps in. He catches him. He gets caught. He lands something also. They are trading back and forth. This is an exciting fight. A left landed by Oliveira. Looping left. A straight left by Lee. A right by Oliveira. Back and forth. These guys are teeing off. This is it. This is for everything tonight. This is the main event. They've already seen all the energy. They should have got hyped up. Lee just ate a big right hand from Oliveira, a left kick to the body, a right uppercut, a right overhand. Lee goes up against the fence. He looks dazed and confused. He looks like he's in trouble. He dodges under one. He eats another one. He could be in trouble. He could be doing the okie doke. You don't know. Kevin Lee is a warrior. So we don't know what to expect in a situation like this from him. But he eats an uppercut. Charles Oliveira is landing those punches, but they are not putting Kevin Lee to sleep. I think he should continue with the kicks because that keeps him out of the range of Kevin Lee's shots. Kevin Lee is definitely eating enough shots this round. Oliveira is definitely scoring points. Kevin Lee lands a big shot and Oliveira lands a big shot. They are both landing big shots. Oliveira trying to hold. And the takedown by Kevin Lee. And Oliveira starts to go for the arm bar. He's got the arm bar. He's rolling out of it. He's got the arm bar. He's rolling out of it. Oh, man, now he's going for the triangle choke. He slips out of it. He slips out of it. They're both getting up. Both getting up. Both getting up. Scramble, scramble. Both getting up in a position where they're both still trying to, somebody taking advantage. They land back down. Looks like Kevin Lee has an advantage right now. It looks like that was a takedown, but it wasn't really ever a full stand-up and separation. So did that really count? I don't know how that's going to be seen. Sometimes in the last fight, when they were so connected, they weren't counted as takedowns, but he's being smothered right now. He is in his guard, though, half guard. He's trying to do a little Conor McGregor action now, Kevin Lee, with the shoulder bumps. Shoulder bumps by Kevin Lee. That's not doing anything here. He can't level change. Those are a joke from this position. Oliveira has one leg of Kevin Lee's locked so that Kevin Lee can't advance. But Kevin Lee is still landing some shots. Oliveira seems like he's still in a good spot. I don't think he's being choked. He's just waiting. I think he wants the ref to break him up. I think that's what he's trying to do here. He looked like he looked at the ref. Either that or he was looking for something. But interesting the fact that since there's nobody in the arena, they can actually hear all of their coaches. So they're trading some shots. Kevin Lee just landed something from the top there. Oliveira is trying to just be in his defensive positioning from the bottom, trying to avoid shots. Kevin Lee's landing shots. He's in half guard, one leg up over the top, one leg through the legs. He's going to try to move to full mount here. He's going to try to move that right leg and get the full mount. Charles Oliveira isn't in a really dangerous. He's landing some shots now, but there's not really leverage on those shots. Oliveira gets himself out of trouble. His head is out of trouble now. There's about 40 seconds left in the round. Oliveira hasn't been able to get anything going with any of these submissions. Supposedly he's got the most submissions in UFC history. So I would expect him to somehow be able to grab a leg or an arm in any of these situations. He's been trying. He's been unsuccessful. Round number 2, 15 seconds left. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. That's it. I mean, so I would give that round to Oliveira. I thought he did a lot of work. So I'm pretty much I'd have it right now 1-1. I'd have the first round to Lee and the second round to Oliveira. Oliveira found a couple of shots that he landed on Lee where Lee was hurt. I don't think he followed up on it enough. I think Lee was definitely hurt, but he recovered well, and part of his recovery was going for the takedown. So he landed a nice double leg takedown. He ducked under some offensive Oliveira and straight just shot in, got that takedown. And that was a big deal because those shots were landing on Kevin Lee and he was in trouble, and he got himself back out of trouble by shooting for the takedown and making it a grounded round. Was that enough to take the round back, even though all those shots were landed by Oliveira? I don't know. We'll have to see. We're going to round 3. All right. Round 3. Fight. Oliveira comes in with a jumping kick. So much for tapping gloves. Left hand landed by Lee. Lee lands a kick and a right hand. They're both coming in. This is a big round because this is a 5-round fight. They both know this is the middle round. This is a big round. Kevin Lee so far landing and doing his thing. He comes in for the takedown. Oliveira looks like he's got a choke. Oh, it looks like it's in tight. Tap! Charles Oliveira! Yeah! Submission win, baby! Yeah! That's why he has the most submissions in the win. Come over here. That's why he has the most submission wins in the UFC. He's the dog of the night. He's the dog of the night. Charles Oliveira. He gets us the win. Dog of the night. Yeah. And just like that, we erase all those mistakes and we come back with the dog of the night. Dog of the night, Charles Oliveira. Now let's take another look at it. Charles Oliveira. What happened was Kevin Lee shot in for the single leg, and at the same time as shooting in for the single leg, his neck was available. Oliveira grabs the neck, wraps it up, falls to the ground, puts the legs around him. Kevin Lee has no choice but to tap. And that's the decision for the dog of the night with my fucking special guest friend here. He's wearing his referee attire tonight. You can see, Babio, how did you like these fights tonight, Babio? Did you like these fights? What did you think? You're the dog of the night. You're going to get a special treat for that. Here you go. Go do your thing. Yo, Fight Conversations. I'd like to give a big shout out to everybody that watched with us tonight. I would also like to give a especially big shout out to Dana White just for having these events, because this wasn't necessary. Everybody was canceling. He could have easily pussyfooted and jumped along and canceled. But you know what? He Vince McMahon'd it. He grabbed the brass ring. He went for it. He got his show on the main ESPN instead of the side ESPN Plus tonight. It was a fantastic show. A lot of action. Charles Oliveira came through with it tonight. Dog of the night. We crushed it. Amazing fight card tonight. Fight Conversations. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be covering a lot more fights, from UFC to boxing to Bellator. Who knows what else we're going to be covering as long as this coronavirus is going on. We're going to be bringing you action. We're going to be bringing the coverage. We're going to be seeing how it goes. I anticipated this fight. I saw Charles Oliveira as a dog. I thought that was crazy. Kevin Lee coming off a spectacular win. Hard to follow up. Hard to duplicate. Shout out to everybody who knows about the hard to duplicate rule. This was a great fight. This was a great night of fights. Shout out to Fight Conversations at Fight Talk 24/7, Instagram and Twitter. We'll be live again tomorrow night for the 5th episode of Sunday Night Live. This one's going to be obviously focused around this tonight. This was an amazing card. Charles Oliveira with the choke in round 3 brings home the dog money. We got it. It was amazing. Thank you for joining us. This is Fight